Hi, you're watching Current Issues. My name is Vineet Malhotra. The Rajya Sabha election fiasco in Haryana has raised questions about whether the laws and procedures being followed for the conduct of polls to the upper house are adequate and foolproof. The man accused of doctoring the entire episode and conspiracy seems unfazed by the string of allegations against him and has defended his election by saying that it was all fair and all judicious. How far are the aggrieved ready to go with this conspiracy, and how will this injustice impact the sanctity of the upper house? We find out with our guests, but before we do that, let's listen in to these reactions.
तो मैं समझता हूँ कि ये सारी जो रचने के लिए ये जो फ्रॉड किया गया है, और उस फ्रॉड का मेरी ड्यूटी बनती है कि उपराष्ट्रपति को बताना कि ऐसे टाइप के आदमी जिसके खिलाफ 14-15 तो केसेस है क्रिमिनल के, उपराष्ट्रपति को भी कहना चाहिए भाई कि ये नहीं होना चाहिए। जब तक पूरी इन्वेस्टिगेशन नहीं हो जाती, जब तक कार्रवाई नहीं हो जाती, जब तक इलेक्शन कमीशन डिसाइड नहीं करता, जब तक हाई कोर्ट डिसाइड नहीं करता इस मामले में, मैं समझता हूँ कि इस जैसे इंसान को वहाँ बैठना नहीं चाहिए, अपने आप ही नहीं जाना चाहिए। इसको शर्म आनी चाहिए कि मैं किस हैसियत से वहाँ जाऊँगा और लोग मुझे क्या सोचेंगे। यहाँ तो आदमी बहुत बेशर्म होगा। मैंने तो ये कहा कि आपने स्केच पेन चेंज किया इस आदमी ने, फिर मैंने ये कहा कि सुभाष शर्मा भी मिले हुए हैं, एरो भी मिला हुआ है, सारे इंडिपेंडेंट एमएलए हैं, उन्होंने अपने उसी पेन को देके वोट लगाई है। तो ये 12 वोट का रिजेक्शन जो है ये नॉर्मल रिजेक्शन नहीं है, ये भाई चीटिंग है। और क्योंकि इसके खिलाफ 13 मुकदमे चीटिंग के पहले ही हैं, 2-3 मुकदमे और छुपाए हुए हैं अपने पेपर में। मैं समझता हूँ कि ऐसे आदमी को हिंदुस्तान की सबसे बड़ी सेक्रेटेरिएट में बैठने का कोई हक नहीं है। मुझे तो शर्म आ रही है कि जो जिसके साथ ये बैठेंगे वो क्या फील करेंगे कि एक फ्रॉड के साथ आप लोग वहाँ बैठे हो।
कांग्रेस के विधायकों ने नियत और ईमानदारी के साथ पार्टी लाइन के मुताबिक आर.के. आनंद जी को अपना वोट डाला था। ये बहुत बड़ा षड्यंत्र जो है किया गया है, ऐसा षड्यंत्र जिससे कहते हैं हम अपने आप को शर्मसार जो है हरियाणा को महसूस करना चाहिए कि जहाँ पे 12 वोटें जो हैं उनको रद्द कर दिया जाता है, और वो भी पेन बदलने से। ये तो स्पष्ट है। तो ये बात जो है ये षड्यंत्र पूरा का पूरा बीजेपी का रचा हुआ पूरा जाल है।
ये दूसरी बात है कि जब हम गए, हमारे को वहाँ जो पेन दिया वो ऑलरेडी बंधा हुआ था वहाँ, जैसे बैंक में बंधा होता है ना, ऐसे पेन बंधा हुआ था। हमारे तो दिमाग में भी नहीं आया कि कोई दूसरा पेन चल रहा है, उसी पेन से हमने निशान लगा दिया।
ओके, तो मतलब ये साजिश हुई है, पेन बदलने वाली साजिश हुई।
हाँ, पेन बदलने वाली साजिश हुई है, पक्का।
अच्छा, जिस पर आरोप लग रहे हैं, आपको लगता है वाकई में वीडियोग्राफी में भी कुछ नजर आ रहा है हरकत की? इतना समय लगाया उसने, इतना हमने मेरे ख्याल मैं अंदर गया, मैंने 5 सेकंड से ज्यादा नहीं लगाए, और उसके 51 सेकंड तक क्या किया उसने उस पेन को खोल के दूसरा बांध दिया।
So R.K. Anand has written to the Vice President urging him to not allow somebody who's probably being alleged as a criminal to sit in the August House of Rajya Sabha. On this note, let's also introduce our guest panel. We have Sulaiman Mohammad Khan, who's the spokesperson for the Congress. Sulaiman, thank you so much for talking to us. Sulaiman, now being the spokesperson of the Congress, there is a certain mantle, there is a certain responsibility that you uphold. There's a certain sense of effort that you have to display. What do you think that the party will be thinking right now? There are people who are taking action. There are people who are in fact fighting against this injustice. How far is this fight really going to last, and what all is the Congress party prepared to do in order for justice to prevail?
We have already given a memorandum of representation to the Chief Election Commissioner and the other election commissioners on 13th of June only. This election was held on 11th of June. We have given a memorandum and representation on 13th of June. Mr. R.K. Anand has also written to the Honorable President or Vice President. So the issue is not what the fight. This is a fight of the nation actually. The people of Haryana who have elected a Rajya Sabha member. Reason is a member to the upper house of the parliament has been elected by hijacking an election. A pen was placed in on the place where the ballot paper has to be marked by the MLAs. When 13 Congress MLAs were issued the ballot papers, they were given a different pen because of the reason just before at 1:15 when these Congress MLAs went to cast their vote one by one, one MLA went inside before them, and he took almost 40 to 50 seconds to cast his vote, to tick his ballot paper. And after that, the pen automatically changed. And then the Congress MLAs marked their ballots one by one and they cast their vote. And after that also, after those Congress 13 MLAs, then again one MLA went inside and he again took 40 to 50 seconds to place the same pen which was originally there. So it is a conspiracy by the BJP and certain officials in the Vidhan Sabha to hijack and rig the election. And this is, you know, when once Jaya Bachchan was there was a doubt on his election. She resigned on moral grounds and she said, I am not going to sit on occupy a member's seat of Rajya Sabha because there is a doubt on the election which I have contested. Subhash Chandra ji should resign first because he don't have the numbers. We with 18 plus 17 have 35 MLAs and 12 of our MLAs whose vote have been rejected have given an affidavit to the Election Commission saying that our clear choice was Mr. R.K. Anand. So for free and fair election, the things are very clear.
Subhash Chandra has
ED, CBI and other agencies on the on a drop of a head.
Subhash Chandra, on the contrary, has also alleged
that
the votes. Hear me out, Suleiman. Subhash Chandra has also alleged that the votes were never going to go in his favor in the first place. But there seems to be a fissure in the Congress. The party was divided, and that is the reason why these 14 votes sort of did not benefit anyone. No. Do you concur with that?
Okay.
Are there fissures in your party?
One reply. If the party, hello,
yeah,
hello, disconnect ho gaya.
Suleiman, can you hear me? Okay, well, R.K. Anand has written a letter to the Vice President saying that, a person with a criminal past who's been allegedly involved in a conspiracy, which is equivalent to capturing a booth, should not be allowed even to sit in the Rajya Sabha, let alone be allowed to speak and make policy and law. Let us remind you that from 18th of July, Mr. Subhash Chandra will be able to sit in the upper house. He will not be able to pass on any comments. He will not be able to react to anything. He will have to sit as a mute spectator. But once he takes the oath, which would be on the 2nd of August, then he will definitely be making laws. He will definitely be affecting policy, and he definitely will be changing the future of this nation. Now, do we want such a person to be sitting in the most powerful corridors of our country? Do we want such a person to be responsible for making laws which will govern our lives? I think the answer is unanimous. We don't want such a person in the August House of the Rajya Sabha. Suleiman, if you can hear me now, we had lost connection with you in the middle. Like I was saying, Subhash Chandra has also alleged that there are fissures in the Congress party, and this is all being made out to be a farce. This is nothing but a dissension in the Congress party.
If there is something like this, what Mr. Subhash Chandra has imagined, I think then the PCC chief of Haryana, Mr. Ashok Tanwar, has led that delegation which went to the Election Commission and gave the representation along with all other senior leaders. Mr. Ashok Tanwar went along with Mr. R.K. Anand and other senior leaders, and they gave the representation. For a state, the chief of that state is sufficient enough that the party is united. The party has the backing, was backing Mr. R.K. Anand. So there is nothing like this. Actually, Mr. Subhash Chandra, instead of making these type of bald allegations, he should just he should come out and say, I want to resign. He should resign, come out and resign from this position and say, request the Election Commission to have a fresh elections. Why is making allegations just to save his failure and the way the election has been held, the conspiracy which has been done by the BJP. BJP has raided the house of Mr. Veerbhadra Singh. Sorry, CBI and ED has raided the house of Mr. Veerbhadra Singh on the day when her daughter was getting married. Now we are saying, have a CBI investigation, have an investigation in this. You have all the camera footage, come out with some truth. Now they are sitting quiet. This is what Achhe Din we were waiting for.
Okay,
Is
let's
this-
also get Hassan Rizvi's point of view on this particular matter. Hassan, thank you so much for coming to the studio and talking to us. Hassan is a political analyst. Now, the letter that has been written by Mr. R.K. Anand to Hamid Ansari, do you think it's going to catch momentum and it will produce efficacious in this particular matter? It will, stop a person with a criminal background from entering the upper house?
I think it's a very sad development that very long back this happened, and it has not taken some concrete momentum till now. I mean, we were expecting that election commission will take suo motu action rather than waiting for the complainant to come and approach election commission. Even we were expecting Supreme Court to take the cognizance of the matter, so because the spirit of the democracy was under threat. But what R.K. Anand has written, I think it's the last effort which he has taken. I hope that it will bear some fruit.
Okay, no, the letter also claims, Hassan, that Subhash Chandra has admitted to a number of criminal cases of cheating, fraud, extortion. Besides, there are cases that are pending against him. Do you think the Vice President is going to take cognizance of this particular matter and make a landmark decision of probably withholding the oath ceremony until some conclusion or some proper investigation is started into this conspiracy?
I'm not
Do
very.
you think he should set a precedent for other criminal?
Yeah, because that will be very bold step if because if the chairperson of the Rajya Sabha consider this issue, because as far as till now the development is concerned, I think if Hamid Ansari, if the Vice President take the proactive approach, I think that we should all be welcoming it. But my concern is that until unless there is some very thorough investigation by the concerned agencies, particularly by the Supreme Court, and Election Commission should come forward and give it report immediately, so that chairperson of the Rajya Sabha should have the solid background on the basis of which he can take decision.
Do you think the Vice President would also want to consult the Election Commission before he comes to a conclusion?
Yeah, that should be the really good precedence if he does that.
Okay, Suleiman, coming back to you, this whole matter has been so fishy. There were 26 calls which were exchanged between the culprit's election manager and the returning officer. There were people who were circling the venue where the election was supposed to be held a day in advance. And the camera position was also such that you could see the candidate, you could see the MLA casting his vote, but you could not see the activity beyond a certain angle. Now, what kind of a criminal bent of mind must you have to hatch such a brilliant plan? If you were to grade the criminality of this offense, where would it rate?
Vineet, when we talk of BJP, Vineet, when we talk of BJP, they can go to any extent. There is no doubt. We don't have any doubt. When you have BJP in power and they are pushing for having more power, they want power with any means. They can do anything. So this is one of a very well knitted conspiracy which has been planned by the Bharatiya Janata Party along with officials of the Vidhan Sabha. In Haryana there is a government of BJP. In centre they are there. They have planned it very well. MLA went inside after the casting of 55 votes. An MLA went inside, changed the pen, stayed in that booth for 40-50 seconds. Then the Congress MLA cast their vote with a different pen, and then again another MLA went inside to again change the pen for 40-50 seconds. He remained inside. This is how it has happened. It's very clear. 12 of the MLAs of the Congress whose votes have been disqualified because of the different ink or the instrument which they have used for marking that ballot paper have given an affidavit that Mr. Anand, and election it is completely against the spirit of fair election, free and fair election. It's against the spirit of the constitution, and we also request the election commission, and we have requested by that memorandum that in the spirit of the constitution it's clear that we have won. It is because of a conspiracy, because of change of ink which has been hedged by the BJP, we have lost that election. Otherwise 18 plus 17s we have 35, Congress plus INLD. 18 plus 17 we have 35 votes. It's a clear win. So this is very clear that BJP has planned
to
this
extend upon
conspiracy
Hassan,
very
to
well.
extend upon
And they
Suleiman's
should answer
point of
this
view,
to the
do you
people of
think
Haryana
this
and
is
to the
some
people of the country.
megalomaniac macro aggressive policy by the BJP to get as many Rajya Sabha seats as possible, so that when they are making laws, when they are trying to pass bills, they don't have any impediments, they don't have any problems?
Yeah, I see it as a part of the larger conspiracy which has been, which has been, in the forefront since this government came into power. If you look at it from the Uttarakhand crisis,
Exactly.
I also see it because the political dispensation at the center has been subverting the democracy in one form or other. The recent crisis of the Uttarakhand is classic example for that. Secondly, it's really amazing that if you go by the various judgment given by the Supreme Court, the Supreme Court has mentioned in various judgment, one of the cases Summam Kumam Devi versus State of Bihar, under which Supreme Court has ruled that procedural law should not take the precedence over the substantive issue of the justice. So, if you pick up this thread from the judgment of the Supreme Court, it is really strange that I would just ask the Honorable Supreme Court judges that whether it is not the breach of the law, and why this person who got elected definitely and who is supposed to make law have not jeopardized the whole democratic system.
Absolutely. Now, Subhash Chandra has about 13 FIRs registered against him, and extending upon Hassan's point of view, Suleiman, we were talking about the BJP and the way they have probably shown that they are so power hungry that they are ready to dive to any length to conspire with criminals so that they can muster up Rajya Sabha seats, so that there is no problem in the future in passing votes. Now, are we crossing a moral line which is not supposed to be crossed?
Vineet, BJP, I think they have no morals. They have crossed all lines. What Mr. Rizvi was saying is right. What has happened in Uttarakhand, what has happened in Arunachal, it's a clear, you have seen, daylight murder of the democracy, subversion of democracy. They have toppled a democratically elected government in Uttarakhand. They have toppled a democratically elected government in Arunachal Pradesh. Thanks to the Supreme Court that we are able to save our government in Uttarakhand. And what Mr. Rizvi was saying, there is a judgment of S.R. Bomai which says that the floor test is the basic principle through which if there is a doubt on the majority of the government, you should go for a floor test. And that what has been done in the Uttarakhand, and we are back in power. So they are using every means, in Parliament, in Rajya Sabha, in the upper house, they have their numbers are not good. Therefore, they are anyhow trying to have their numbers by hook or by crook, by using any means, by conspiring against opposite parties, by their opponents, and trying to win the elections by doing all these things. So they are frustrated actually. So just to get those numbers, this has been done in Haryana.
Suleiman, do you think and do you concur that senior Congress leaders, probably Shashi Tharoor and Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi himself, should probably take more interest in this particular conspiracy, because them actually paying heed to this kind of a conspiracy will add a lot of weight, will add a lot of momentum to the conclusion of this matter?
For past more than 2 years, since the Congress party is in opposition, Mrs. Sonia Gandhi and Mr. Rahul Gandhi and other senior leaders of the party have taken a stand on very, very important issues like land acquisition bill and others, GST. And on this issue also, we have our PCC president, Mr. Tawar, has given a representation, and we have done press conferences through the media houses. We are trying to, propagate our message that we are against this. We are against this subversion of democracy. This is a conspiracy. So all our leaders are trying to tell the people of the country what BJP has done, and we are praying for justice from all concerned authorities, either it's CEC or any other. And we are also telling the people that this has been done. So party is taking its due stand, which it should take, and I think that is enough. Let's see what comes out and what the election commission, what action they takes. And we are waiting for Mr. Subhash Chandra to say something on this, how he has got elected. through this. And Mr. Modi and Mr. Amit Shah should also speak on this. The Prime Minister of country has promised Achhe Din, and now on the issues like this, he is completely mum. He is silent. Mr. Amit Shah should come out and speak what has happened. He has a government in Haryana.
Okay, Hassan would like to react on that. Hassan, go ahead.
I would like to slightly differ from what he is speaking, Mr. Suleiman, because for me, we should not try to belittle the whole episode, because I look at it from the larger perspective of democracy and democratic spirit in the Indian political system.
Right.
Because for me, I mean, obviously there is no second thought that the land, be it the land acquisition bill or other tribal issues bill and etc., Congress has taken a stand. But in the meantime, we should not just consider that it's a matter of electing some individual or rejecting some individual. It's a matter of two things. First, it's a criminal breach of trust between the person who got elected and the citizenry of India. That is number one. Number two, the procedural law, which even election commission, for me it's very surprising that the election commission, which has got under Article 324, has the power of superintendence of the election, has shook off its responsibility. So, I mean, it's really amazing that the constitutional,
they have been very amateurish about conducting the entire process.
Yeah. So, for the constitutional body, when constitutional body is abdicating its responsibility in the name of that what is happening, it's not our responsibility. I think it's a high time that irrespective of any political view, the people should come across the table and discuss in the parliament as a major issue that still in the 21st century, should we be worried only about the ink pen and the violet color and the blue color and etc. Because keeping in mind, again I am reiterating that keeping in mind the Supreme Court judgment, that is number one, which is again we consider as a law.
So what you're saying is that probably they are treating
this is the high time we should,
the upper house election as something which is not very important.
Why
would you have archaic and ancient tools to conduct such an important
election?
So,
I mean, what Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi, I think I would say frankly, the kind of hue and cry I was expecting from Congress party.
Right.
I mean, it should be there, frankly, and they should just paralyze the parliamentary session when it is in the session.
Suleiman, a very robust and a logical point from Hassan, saying that the hue and cry, the level of hue and cry that was expected of the Congress party is not evident. You know, when the session starts, the parliament session starts, they should probably halt proceedings and bring the culprits to book and get at least a response from the BJP.
And take it as an opportunity to infuse a new spirit in the democracy.
We will.
Okay. Go ahead, Suleiman, go ahead.
We will, Mr. Rizvi. We have not belittled this issue. We have raised the issue of what I have told previously also, the land acquisition, the Arunachal issue, the Uttarachal issue in the parliament, in the Supreme Court, the way Mr. Veerbhadra Singh has been humiliated, harassed as the senior most chief minister of Himachal Pradesh, dated being conducted in his house on the day of his daughter's marriage. So all this we have raised, the GST issue. So this issue also, we have taken notice of it. We have given representations to this. I agree with you that the election commission should not wait for anything. It should take action suo motu. We have given a representation. They should take action on this. And the parliament session is expected to start, I think, in the next month in July. We are expecting some dates. So we will raise this issue also in the parliament.
Suleiman,
Congress party is in past 2.5 years, 2 years and 3 months has raised all important issues which are important for the nation. And we will raise all these issues.
Suleiman, I totally agree, but my concern is that why I am little worried, because all the issues which you have been explaining here have to do with certain policies and planning and etc. But my point is that we claim to the outside world that we have a very robust democratic system. We flaunt our democratic process. For me, it's a challenge to the democratic process.
Yes.
I mean, it's not a very petty thing that we should ignore that R.K. Anand got defeated and Subhash Chandra got elected. For me, I mean, it's an opportunity.
It's a challenge to democracy
because
directly.
We are aware about the fact that democracy is the basic structure of the constitution ruled by the Supreme Court. So when it is under threat, I think all the party except BJP should come forward and I mean make it a big issue.
Hassan, do you think, if things are not sorted out before 2nd of August,
Congress party should lead this issue, and all the political parties who care for the democracy should come together with the Congress party to raise this issue in the parliament and outside as well.
Yeah, because in any case, R.K. Anand was backed by the Congress. He was not the candidate of the Congress, if I know. So, if from that angle, if any person, irrespective of any political party,
we should oppose this subversion of democracy.
Yeah,
so,
from
Hassan,
that angle.
Hassan, let me ask you a question. If we imagine the worst and Mr. Subhash Chandra is sworn in, he does go through the oath process and gets inside the Rajya Sabha. Do you think the ethics committee probably has some sort of a power and can?
No, ethics committee does not have the, because ethics committee is concerned about the business in the house. So the person, so that's why I'm little suspicious about what a vice president can do with this person, because until unless vice president have the detailed evidence based thing, we cannot move. I mean, I'm not very sure that when R.K. Anand has given a memorandum to the vice president, what power he has, because I think that until unless, because the finalization of the candidature depends upon the election commission when it gets the report. Supreme Court has still not taken a very substantive stand. So from that angle, I don't see because if we make it
Suleiman
a
and
more
Hassan,
political
Suleiman and Hassan, apologies, we do not have further time, but we will delve into this topic on a future date. I can guarantee you that, Suleiman. I'll hold on to your thought, and we will discuss this point on a future date, which I'm sure is going to come. Thank you so much for Hassan and Suleiman joining us on the show. That's all we have on current issues. We'll see you tomorrow. Keep watching News World India. Thank you.